Do you struggle with your body image? How do you feel when you look in the mirror? Would you like to have a deeper connection to your body and love it right here, right now? That's what we're going to be talking about today, so stay tuned in. Hi, I'm Meg, and welcome to Bonsai Life. So, in today's subject, we are talking about how to love your body right here and right now. And this is a topic that is particularly close to my heart because I didn't always have such a wonderful, loving view of my body. And in fact, for a good portion of my life, I really struggled with my body image, and it was very difficult. So, just to go into a little bit of it, so you can see where I'm coming from. So, I grew up, I would say, a little bit larger than average, especially by the 80s, 90s standards. I always craved to be thinner. A lot of my friends were thinner. I was usually the biggest one out of the group. And it wasn't so big of a deal when I was younger, but then of course when I hit that middle school and high school age is when it really started to kick in that my friends were being asked out, and it just seemed like they had more opportunities than me in more ways than one. And the clothing options were way more vast for someone who was smaller. There was definitely not the options that there are today. So high school was probably one of my toughest times as far as hitting me hard with my body image. I slouched a lot and it made my stomach stick out a bit, and I already carry a lot of my weight in my stomach area. I have a nice round stomach to this day. And but at the time, it would crush me when someone would ask if I was pregnant, which happened a lot. And, well, at least it seemed like it happened a lot to me. Or someone commenting on my weight. Or guys in our group poking my belly and saying I need to work out a little bit. And friends even politely, doing the caring thing about, oh, should you be eating that? Oh, you should be running more. Oh, are you counting your calories? And so subtly doing that. And I know it was out of caring and such, but I was constantly dieting. I was constantly trying to limit my foods and trying to figure out how I could like exercising. That was a hard thing for me because I did not like exercising, but I was doing it. Even though I hated it, I would do the exercises that my friends liked doing, like running. And yeah, it really didn't get me. It got me maybe to an average size so I could slide in under the radar, but it was still a very difficult time, and I constantly thought I was not as good as my friends who were smaller than me. I constantly thought I wasn't as beautiful as my friends who had smaller sizes and weighed less. And yeah, it was just every day, always on my mind. I loved food too much, so I didn't go down the eating disorder route just because I loved food too much, but I did constantly diet and try very unhealthy diets, and that part I think was a really just not a wonderful way to treat my body, and my body really felt it, and I did not feel good. So same thing kind of led into college, although it was more subtle, and I tried to start to be a little healthier, and then I started to work at a health food store, which made me really rethink how I eat and how I treat my body. I joined karate, which also made me really double think about what I was putting in my body, what snacks I was choosing, because I really needed that extra energy, and I needed it to be a good, clean energy to get me through my workouts for martial arts and karate, because I finally found that thing that I did love to do to move my body around in a healthy way. And that was partially karate, and then later on, belly dance. So I started to eat healthier, eat more, vegetables and whole things. The first thing I cut out was high fructose corn syrup. That was the big thing. And me and my husband cut a lot of weight from just cutting out high fructose corn syrup out of our diet. So we first cut out high fructose corn syrup, and then we started to cut out processed things as much as possible. And that really helped a lot as well, because things that were processed and had a lot of preservatives in them, we just noticed they didn't make us feel good. So we started cutting those out. And this is over years. This is like a slow shift over shift. We just slowly figured things out over time. And then we cut out gluten, and that really helped with the inflammation and cutting down the pain and the brain fog. I have off and on cut off sugar. That is the final frontier. That is fairly difficult for me, is sugar and dairy. We do love dairy, but at this point I don't feel like I need to cut out any dairy or sugar. I feel good, and I feel like I more intuitively let my body guide me into what it wants and needs at the time these days. So I've come to a healthier understanding as far as food and treating my body. Also, like I said, martial arts and belly dance has changed the way I look at my body a lot. With martial arts, I feel empowered, I feel strength within my body, and feel like I can defend and protect it. And it really made me push myself in ways that I never would have, and it's taught me a lot about how much I can appreciate about my body. And then belly dance was when I first started to see beauty in my body and feel like a woman and feel my feminine power within my body, and not feel like I need to hide it so much. Definitely when I was struggling, I always wanted to hide in my clothing and hide from things. And I say that as I'm not hiding in this really. It's just cold out. It's not really too cold, but I just love it. It's alpaca wool. But I'm not hiding in here. I feel it. I want to. I'm not scared of showing off my body nowadays nearly as much as I was before. Belly dance helps me a lot with that. It helped me embellish what I love about my body, and also have grace for what I don't love about my body. So both of those I'm very, very grateful for. And I'm grateful for my experience within the natural food world, because I'm still working in it after all these years, and I love it. I love working with natural foods and herbs, and helping people live more health conscious lives in that way as well. So yeah, that's a little bit about my story and where I'm coming from with my body image. And it's changed a lot, and I'm still not perfect, and I don't think there is a really perfect, but I feel like most days I really, really freaking love my body, and I am proud of it, and I feel deep connection to it more than I ever have, and I appreciate it more than I ever have. So I want to show you some simple steps on how to do the same. Tip number 1 for loving your body right here, right now, is to have gratitude. And I know it sounds cliche, but there's truth in those things. So having gratitude doesn't mean just simply be like, I'm thankful for my body. I know I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for it. I'm talking about deep gratitude. I'm talking about being detailed with your gratitude and not just saying it or thinking it or writing it, but actually feeling it with your soul, feeling it with your heart, and going as deep as you can with that gratitude. So when I'm thinking gratitude for my body, I love to do gratitude from head to toe or toe to head and kind of let it follow all the way down. So, an example of this would be starting with the crown and the skull of your head and thinking of how grateful you are for everything that resides in it, everything that your skull does to protect your brain and other vital organs, your ears, and how they let you hear the music and people communicating to you, and why you're grateful for these ears. And then your eyes, even your eyebrows and your forehead. Why are you grateful for them? What do they do for you? And your nose, your mouth. So don't just think, I'm grateful for these things, but think why you're grateful for them. Think of all the amazing things that they do for you every single day, even when you're not thinking about it. Think about your breath, how it just works automatically. Think about your heartbeat, how it just goes and goes and goes. So think about all these beautiful things that make your amazing body work, and start to think about it from that point of view. And you can even think, I'm grateful for, and put in your flaws. Like, one of the things that I've struggled with the most is the dimples on my thighs. And it used to be stretch marks too, but now it's like the more later one was dimples on my thighs, and that's always been it. And I've started to see what I love about that, what I love about the shape of my thighs, and go into deeper gratitude. So you can do that with your flaws as well, and start to think of it, reframe things. Instead of seeing what you've seen before, which for me was often, it was not even my own perception, it was society's perception of my thighs, if that makes sense. Because I really don't think dimples on thighs is good or bad, but I always remember the things that were always in magazines or on shows, or that people said to me about the dimples on my thighs, and that's what made me have this story. But I actually like it. I like the texture. I think it's pretty, and now I've come to love that part about myself just from having deep gratitude about it. Number 2, show your body love and attention. So this can be done in many ways, and it can be done for pleasure, or just for comfort, or just to have a connection with your body. But showing your body that affection and love that most of us crave from others, I think is really important for getting a deeper relationship with your body and feeling better about it. So this can be just simply lovingly touching yourself and hugging yourself. It can be doing nice things for yourself, as far as I really love to do things like take care of my body in certain ways, like putting beautiful oils on my feet and thanking my feet at night. So that's one thing out of many that I like to do, but I really love to like thank my feet, every toe, the bottoms of my feet, and rub in this beautiful lavender oil that just feels like so luxurious. And I do it right before bed, and I just rub it in, and I'm mindful about doing this, and I really love my feet, and I'm really showing love for my body when I do this. So this can come in many different forms. For some, it might be a mani-pedi, and that's totally awesome too. Showing your body love in that form is awesome. And then whatever form makes you happy. So it's your, whatever you love to do, whatever, if you are a physical touch person, maybe just doing something like this and giving yourself some comfort is your thing. If you're more into audio things, maybe play your favorite music and just let go. So there's different things you can do, but taking time every single day to just love on your body and give it affection instead of just being this brain in a vessel. So, because I think, at least myself, I get stuck in that mode sometimes. And I'm like, oh yeah, I have this amazing body that I can just connect to at any time. I love to do it with dance, and I love meditation, and I love walking in nature or just being in nature to connect with my body. And there's many other things that I like to do that I'll probably share at later times. But number 2 was show your body love and affection. And number 3. So this one's really important, and it's kind of a subtle little devil. Really watch about, like, pay attention to how you speak to yourself, about yourself. And I know you've heard it before, but really start to look at the subtle ways that you may be having not the best body image or projecting the best body image onto yourself and your body. So I hear subtle things all the time, and I think subtle things less and less myself, and I say it less and less myself. But it is fairly noticeable when I see it and notice it in others now, and the patterns of how we shame ourselves in those little ways, about what we really want to eat and what we should eat and what we should be doing for working out, or what we should be looking like for a certain occasion, or what dress we should be able to fit into, or the pounds we should be able to lose by now, and the holiday weight. There's all these little subtle things that are hidden in there. So I guarantee you've probably said some things to yourself, and maybe even said some things to other people, and a lot of times we don't even realize we're doing it anymore, because it really is embedded in our society. So when you are talking to yourself about your body, in your head or out of your lips, try to be conscious about what you are saying. Try to shift things around, and try to take a more positive standpoint on this, or positive perception on these things. Instead of saying, oh, I'm so fat, which I've actually heard a lot. And you can reframe it in so many ways, so many other ways. Like, I have put on some pounds, but it's showing me I need to take some time for my body and myself and reassess things. And have grace for yourself. Every human fluctuates, and we're supposed to fluctuate in the way our body looks and the way we weigh and everything like that. So give yourself some grace and some patience when you're doing this. And when you notice those points where you start to talk negatively about your body, or start to not appreciate your body, stop, reassess, have a moment of gratitude to think about everything that your body does for you every day, and turn it around. Okay? When you start that negative talk, just stop. It's not helping anything. And it's your body listens to what you're telling it. So the more you turn things around, and the more you focus on the positive, and I'm not saying be blind and stuff like that. I'm saying, like, start to reframe your flaws or perceived flaws and turn it around. The more you do that, the more that's what you'll see, the more that's what will happen. So to conclude this, I just want to remind you that your body is amazing. It does so many amazing things all day long, every day. And you are amazing, and you deserve to have a wonderful relationship with your body. This starts with you changing your mindset little bits at a time. And you can do it. I know you can. So, I hope this helped, and I hope you have a magical day. And thank you for joining me. Bye.